Nigerian music industry is dominating in Africa, and a lot of people are now envious about it, especially some African countries. Some people from like Kenya, from people from Ghana, some people like in South Africa. They are really envious about that. They don't really understand the kind of sacrifices and the kind of efforts that Nigerian music executives, stakeholders and artists have actually put the music industry. And this I got to explain to you guys so that you will understand it better. There are some factors that we need to really note when we talk about the music dominance of Nigeria in Africa. Number one is Afrobeat is of a global appeal because of the fluid nature of Afrobeat. When we talk about the fluid nature of Afrobeat, you got to understand that Afrobeat got ability or to really get into other sounds. That is something I got to understand about Afrobeat to an extent, and a lot of people can really understand it from that point of view. Yes, when you talk about Afrobeats, you are talking Afrobeat with S, because the fella Afrobeat is not all that fluid. But now we got Afrobeats with S that got infusion of reggae, we got R&B, high life, hip hop, we got jazz and the rest. And this is what is making it sound so unique. That is something I got to understand, and this has made it so exportable by a lot of artists and some music executives out there. Another factor is huge population out there is helping the Nigerian music industry to grow out there. That is something I kind of feel with over 200 and something million populations of Nigeria, with the internet power getting into the hands of the young people, especially in Nigeria right now, because about 60% of Nigerian population is of the young people, and that is helping the Nigerian music industry to grow. But if you want to stop this, you got to stop the population itself. That is something you need to understand, and the access to internet and streaming platforms. That is something you got to understand about that. And another factor is smart collaboration and branding by Nigerian artists and Nigerian music stakeholders. That is something I got to understand. When you look at the likes of Burna, the likes of Davido, Wizkid, the likes of Thames, Irasta, the likes of Rema, you get to understand that these guys are strategic in their collaborations, like the collaboration between Rema and Selena Gomez, which is one of the loudest in Africa. Then you talking about the branding, they also tap into fashion, and that is all interesting to an extent. The street culture in Nigeria and beyond has actually helped the industry to actually grow, and we got to really speak about that to an extent. And also, we got a particular factor that is also contributing to the dominance of Afrobeat and Nigerian music industry in Africa right now. Got a strong industry structure. Nigeria actually had a developer music industry in terms of distribution, promotion, artist management system that is really working. When you look at the likes of DNW, Chocolate City, you got Maven Records, you got YBNL, not just OK, we got Pulse Nigeria, and a lot of other platforms. They are helping in these regards. That is something you got to understand about all of this. And then we still got a factor really, really impacting, and that is the star power and consistency. Nigerian artists, they are really frequent with releases of hits. The likes of Wizkid, Burna, Davido, Rema, Ashake, Thames, Irasta, Shei Vibes, and a lot of others. I think these guys are really, really doing a lot in that. When you talk about, yes, it's not one of it. Recently I talked about a person of Libyanka from Cameroon. She got one of it. Ever since then, we not hear of too much. That is another factor. Yes, investment and exposure has helped a lot of people in the music industry in Nigeria. Nigerian music industry has been so exposed to really attract major brands and platforms like Atlantic Records. We got Universal Music Group, we got Sony, and we got Apple Music Africa, and a lot of others like Spotify Africa and Nigeria. Guys, we got Pan-African influence. That is another major factor we need to look at. When you talk about Nigerian music industry, they feature lyrics in pidgin, making it more relatable across Africa or West Africa. That is something I got to understand. And thanks to Nollywood and also Nigerian comedy skits, their culture has also spread along the music industry. So what is your own take about all of this? I want you to put your own comment in the comment section so that you can get to understand it better. Why do you think Nigerian music industry is of an interesting dominance in Africa? I want you to put your own opinion in the comment section so that you can get to understand it better, so that a lot of people can get their own take on this. Nigerian music industry has actually grown far and wide. I remember in 1998 where the likes of Kenny's Ogungbe trying to export Nigerian music industry. Kenny's music actually pioneered a lot of things in Nigerian music industry you see today. We got a lot of other people that actually came up later, the Mohits. We got some kind of the P Squares actually tried also investing themselves in the music industry. But right now, Nigerian music industry is one of the most structured music industry in Africa, and that is owing to the fact that a lot of people actually invested their stake into Nigerian music industry, and that is giving Nigerian music industry a dominance in Africa right now. And some people are still counting on the power of population, that is internet users, and the young population nature of Nigerian music industry has actually helped, or the young population of Nigeria has actually helped the music industry. That is something I got to understand over the time, and we need to really understand it from a deeper point of view. Sometimes a lot of people come out to envy Nigerian music industry to an extent and say a lot of things about Nigerian music industry, and that is quite disturbing at the time. Guys, what is your own take about this? I want you to put your own comment in the comment section so that you can have a take on what you feel so far. Before I jump off, I want to say thank you guys for watching our videos, and thank you for the love so far. If you are new here, you can click the subscribe button below, the bell notification icon to always get notifications each time we upload our videos.
That shit crazy.